Salt. I'm your host. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to be talking about some random things that I've been seeing, as we usually do. We just going to talk about some clips. So let's go ahead and take off with this first clip.
For over 20 years of my life, I voted for Barack Obama when he said he was going to bring hope and change. And yes, we can, and no, we didn't. The jobs didn't come, the better schools didn't come, the investment in our communities did not come.
Facts.
National security, our borders are open. We're not
Facts.
safe. We're not safe. And we've got to stop thinking as black and white and purple and Arab. We've got to start thinking as Americans. And
yes,
that's
ma'am.
what Donald Trump is saying. We're Americans. America first.
You have to remember, Donald Trump is the head of Trump Organization. And when you look into that organization, it is filled with blacks, whites, Hispanics, Arabs, Asians. It's different religions, different creeds. And so he has, he's a person that has created jobs. He's the person that signs checks. He's the person that works on the bottom with the person who's doing the foundation as well as the guy
Trump 24,
in the
baby.
office. And so all of that, I think, is
Hear the truth.
Okay. As usual, I'm going to talk about Mr. Donald J. Trump, 2024.
Yes, we can.
As we're continuously reminded, there was a lot of lies told from the beginning. I don't know why, even before he became president, that this shift took place where he began to be villainized. Most people, when they get close to the primary and as they started getting closer to the nomination, the attacks go up. I understand that, but this was on a whole different level before he even became president, and I don't get it. He did come in doing things and began to, he's been echoing the same thing for the last almost 40 years. America's getting ripped off. America should be first. And that's it. America first. And he's wrong. He's a racist. He's a rapist. He's all of these different things, whatever it is. That at the end of the day, to some degree, these accusations have nothing to do with the job that he's done or was going to do, and that he eventually did when he got elected. And so some of the things that he was accused of in the beginning, we're going to go into this next clip, and let's see what this lady has to say.
I would rather be grabbed by the pussy than have a pussy for president.
Do you agree with what she has to say?
Go you.
And you're happy with that language?
I'm very happy with that language. Look, none of us are that polite behind closed doors. My girlfriends have ruder language. Real men have ruder language. The gentleman clapping is a real man, obviously. He would have ruder language.
Kate,
I'm not offended by
Is she right?
He's no longer in the locker room. He's in the Oval Office.
Sure, and that was a private conversation 8 years ago before he was running. Whilst Clinton was in the Oval Office, of course, Monica Lewinsky was on her knees with Hillary stood right by her. So I don't know if you're going to say that's any better, sweetie, because I don't think it is.
She's not president. I'm talking about the current president-elect.
Yes, but when Bill Clinton was president...
I'm not talking about the past, I'm talking about the future.
And 8 years ago, before Donald Trump even ran, he used the word... I'm not offended. You are. You deal with your issues.
Are any of you have no issues? I'm just curious. Is there any part of you remotely concerned about the nature of...
No, what we needed in America was someone that was going to have a strong lead who would... I would rather be...
All right. I like her.
He doesn't want to talk about the past when it doesn't suit his narrative, but he's going to go way in the Wayback Machine and talk about the past when it suits his narrative.
Right, but all we're talking about is Donald Trump's past. And there's a lot more women that feel this way and think this way. And she said she'd rather be grabbed by the PUSSY than have a PUSSY for president. And that's very true. We're going to do this clip right behind it. This is Trump and Hillary debating.
Jeff from Ohio asks on Facebook, Trump says the campaign has changed him. When did that happen? So, Mr. Trump, let me add to that. When you walked off that bus, were you a different man, or did that behavior continue until just recently?
That was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it. If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women. One of the women, at 12 years old, was raped. Her client, she represented, got him off, and she's seen laughing on 2 separate occasions, laughing at the girl who was raped. Don't tell me about words. What President Clinton did, he was impeached. He lost his license to practice law. He had to pay an $850,000 fine to one of the women. When Hillary brings up a point like that, I think it's disgraceful, and I think she should be ashamed of herself, if you want to know the truth.
Okay, and there you go. You know what? I want to go back. I don't like to do what a lot of Republicans do, and they're like, oh, they didn't say this back then, and if it was this, if it was a Republican, I hate that. It's like, all right, do something about it. But like nobody said anything to Hillary, a Democrat, about the handling of those women at that time. They told those women basically, you better shut up. You better shut up. My husband's running for president. My husband is president, and you better be quiet. And they shut those women up. And the Democratic Party, listen to this, the Democratic Party did not stand up. They're supposed to be for women's rights, and the protection of women. And the Democratic Party did not stand up and say, we're not going to get behind this because there were some atrocities done to women by this woman's husband, and we understand she's running for president, but she didn't do anything about it then, and she didn't stand up against it then, and she's not standing up against it now. Everybody made Trump denounce all the things that they said they said he believed in white supremacy, and Trump said on a number of occasions, I denounce white supremacy. I denounce this. I denounce David Duke. I denounce this. Not one time did they ask or demand that Hillary Clinton denounce the sexual assaults or the accused sexual assaults, however you want to word it, against those women. Not one time. And this has been the continuous actions of the Democratic Party that we as a people continue to support. But the pendulum is swinging. It's swinging. And it's woke, but not woke how they're talking about. Black people are waking up, okay, to what's really been going on. Let's roll this clip.
So now when I say, if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll end up the 10th, you know what I mean. When I say that you should want to have lunch with Jay-Z and not just take the bag, the $500,000 he was offering, you'll understand. So Magic Johnson has just underscored it again. Here's a dude who made $40 million in the NBA, an absolute star. But now he's a billionaire because he realized you make money during the day, but you build wealth in your sleep. He understood that the real capital was not what's in your pocket, what's in your hand, but what's in your head, what's in your heart, and what connects it to, which is relationship capital, which is somebody who believes in you, somebody who says, I want to do business with you. That starts with a relationship, not with a transaction, not with an ask. And nobody cares about the money in your pocket. All it will do is deplete. If you don't have any wisdom in your brain, the money will leak out of your pockets. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
There's an old Southern saying, no matter how much I love you, my son or my daughter, if I don't have wisdom, I can only give you my own ignorance. So out of love, we pass down bad habits from generation to generation. And in a blind town, a one-eyed man's king. If you don't know better, you can't do better. I don't care how much you go to church, how much a nice person you are, you're sweet to people, you're loving, you're generous. If you don't understand money in the language of wealth creation, in the language of free enterprise and markets and, frankly, capitalism, and how this system works, it will play you, and you think you're playing it. So all these folks saying, I want to get that bag, I want to get that dollar, I want to get that money, I want to get that cash. You're mistaken. And I've been trying to tell you, somebody who went from nothing and created something, who was homeless, whose parents lost everything after making the bag, but my dad lost it, God rest his soul, and a brilliant guy, but he was financially illiterate. So every dollar he made, he spent $1.50. The more money he made, the broker we got. And my mother finally had to break away, Juanita Smith, in order to create a new reality. And as you've heard me say, Juanita Smith passed away with $1 million accumulated over her time, net worth, working an hourly job, because she understood the intangibles that I'm trying to tell you, and Magic Johnson's trying to tell you here. Relationship capital, who banks on you. The knowledge you have in your head is more important than what you got in your pocket. You hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. You hang around 9 wealthy people, you're likely also to be the 10th. So what Magic Johnson did here was brilliant. He wanted to understand the game of business, the game of life. How do you do this? Gave them the honor of going to lunch with him so they could brag on it. But he got the honor of what was in their head and hopefully some relationship capital so he could call them later on. I'm telling you, this is how this world works. Hey, don't get kicked off of the train of opportunity. Listen and learn. Go to Operation Hope today.
That was a mouthful. More than a mouthful. That's just what we were talking about. Everybody want to get that bag, want to get the sack. Saying gotta get that dollar, gotta get mine, and a lot of people are good at getting the bag, and then just as good as blowing the bag. People are taking pictures with cars and Bentleys and Lambos and all these. They're taking pictures with cars. I don't see anybody taking a picture of their property. Here's my fifth property. Here's my fifth store. Here's my third franchise and my third Subway I'm open. I don't see these kind of pictures. This is where the money is made. I'm just showing you what money I spent. And the things that is being spent on is stuff that is not increasing in value. Bentleys are nice. I believe one day I will be driving one. But I will not be driving one based on money that's going to be coming out of my hard-earned pocket. It's going to be paid for by something else that's already making money. It's not going to be something that I'm dishing out. But economic intelligence, not economic empowerment. We've been told a lie to think that we just got to get money. Save money. Don't spend money. Don't take out loans, cut up the credit cards and all these different things. And we were tricked. And like I said, it's not a black issue. This is just across the board. You have ultra wealthy and then you have ultra poor. And in the middle are the people who just made it above poor and they're good right there and think that everybody way up here is evil because they've only got enough to get to middle, but don't have enough in them or don't know the information that's necessary to get past the middle up to the top, because now they got a good job, they got a pension, they got 15 more years of working this job, and they'll get a check every month for the rest of their life. And they may have a 401k that may be worth something if they haven't had to pull out of it because of the inflation that's continued to go up. And by the time they get to retirement, 401k ain't even worth nothing necessary. Learn about money.
There's that proximity principle too, where he's talking about hanging out with the people. So even if you are at the bottom, even if you want to go up, if you're hanging around with broke, you aren't going to go up most likely. So proximity principle says get your proximity into into other folks who are even one level up, two levels up, and most likely you'll raise without doing anything different just because mentality.
Exactly. And that's that what I might call probably good peer pressure. If you get around peers who are doing bigger things, the pressure will be either you're going to get away from them because you feel inadequate or you're going to stay there and like, all right, I got to level up.
Look at all the mistakes that you can save by learning, hearing about how they.
Right. And I'll say this, what he was saying about relationship capital. Building relationships. Okay, so my producer here, we build a relationship. We didn't talk about money and how much money I got and how much money he got and all these different things. We had a conversation. He talked a little bit about what he's doing and talked about a little bit about what I'd like to do and so on and so on. And just so happened, here we are. Relationship capital. And this is what it's about. See, what they don't tell you in those pictures, I like pictures with people. People for me today are trophies, friends and relationships. That's what matters. Those cars, they get wrecked. You can get another one insurance if you ain't rented. Most of them cars are rented, just so y'all know. But relationships will take you a lot further than a Lambo. A Lambo may get you a hot girl, may not. May get you a hot girl and some disease to go along with it, But a relationship can take you a whole lot further. I have friends, when I first started in my ventures, I had friends, and that's when I knew my life had changed. They were offering, hey, I know you're just getting started, man, and, if you need it, here's X, Y, and Z. And I'm not talking about, a few $100s or something like that. I'm talking about substantial amounts of money that people were offering me to help me out. And I thank God for the wisdom. I was like, oh yeah, let me get it. There was something in me I knew I had to learn the struggle. I had to learn to go without, to dig down in me, to pull out what was necessary to keep going. Had I just taken, I would have took it and I probably stayed afloat, but I would never have the struggle of trying to figure out what do I need to do to get to this next level. Okay. And so that's what I've done is I've learned to say no. At least I know I have people. I'll say it like this, like he said, I have relationships with people who believe in me enough to be willing to just say, here, I'll help you out. That's what's most important. Not the money that they're offering, but the relationships and the belief that I have in me and the relationships that we built. And that tells me something about me, that I worked harder on me than I did at my work and that I did at my job. When I had a job, you work harder on yourself and success will come to you. You develop a personality and success will come to you. Develop a smile and success will come to you. It's okay to have your own different personal beliefs as long as you're willing to listen to somebody else's personal beliefs and as long as you're not willing to stand on what you believe, but not in such a militant way, where you're still open to hear what somebody else has to say and where somebody else is coming from. Suds and buds. Mobile detailing, not car wash. You want your car wash, go to one of those $8 car washes, and you can stay in your car and you can drive it through and get your car scratched up and $8. And you have some kid run out for $3, $3 more, and he'll spray your tires and make it look shiny for a second. Okay, that's a car wash. But suds and buds, it's car detailing from the underside to the top side. That's what these guys do. Now, they say the wealthy buy time. You may not be wealthy yet, but buy yourself an hour and a half. Instead of doing that yourself, call Suds and Buds. Buy yourself an hour and a half. And while they're out there taking care of your car, you can be doing something else that makes you money. Everybody's concerned about money today. Everybody's concerned about time. See, here's the thing. One thing you can never get back, you can lose $10. You can get $10 back. You can lose a couple hours of work and stay late, and later on in the week make those hours up on your check. But once you lose time, that unit of measure time, you can never get that back. That hour and a half you use to wash your car, polish your tires, and armor all the inside, all that time you're taking to take care of your baby, you could be doing something else more productive. So, Suds and Buds, reach out to these guys, 954-995-6529. That's 954-995-6529. They're licensed and insured. These are not some guys who just picked up a water trailer and put it on the back of the truck and they're riding around trying to make a couple dollars. This is a business. It's so much of a business that anywhere in the country, if you guys want to have your own Suds and Buds, you can give us a call and they'll talk to you about a franchise. If you're interested in franchising a Suds and Buds of your own, call 954-995-6529. Car detailing is where it's at. They come to you. Save your money, save your time. All right, let's move on to this next clip.
This woman was not ready for this.
America is white people are evil, white people suck, we should be ashamed of ourselves, and
I don't think we should be ashamed of ourselves. I think that we should take responsibility for the system that we've created.
The best system in the world?
Oh, we do not have the best system in the world.
Who has a better system?
There are many European countries that are much better off
than
us.
You mean like the European countries with a higher density of whites?
Exactly.
Northern Europe.
That's one way to phrase it, I guess.
You don't mean Turkey?
Yeah.
No.
You don't mean Eastern Europe?
No.
With the communists?
Nope.
So the only time you can come up with a system that's better than America, it's a country that's more white than America.
So here's one thing I want to say to white America. First of all, I don't need you guys getting mad for me, okay, about the things, the atrocities that happened to me, okay? I don't blame you today for things that happened back yonder. Whether you're directly connected to your ancestor that owned slaves or did the atrocities from back in the Jim Crow days or whatever, you today are not doing those things to me. You can't help what your family line is. You can't help being white. I can't help being black. People can't help being Spanish, and on and on and on and on. I don't blame you for that. I don't need you jumping up and being mad for me. If I ain't mad, I don't need you getting mad. Just keep it moving. And this whole thing about America and the system of America, this is the greatest country in the world. I always said I'll take the struggles of the United States of America over the struggles of any other country in the world. We have the best justice system. Does it always turn out how we think it should? No. Okay, but we have a system. We have a system in place. We have an appeals court, and we have a higher appeals court. We got a Supreme Court in each state. We have an ultimate Supreme Court over the whole country. We have a system unlike any system in the world. We don't have a parliament, okay? We have a House of Representatives. We have the Senate. We have all of these things in place. And yes, there is corruption in all of them. Yes, they don't work, but I'll take what don't work here over all the other stuff that don't work around the world. And why do you think that everybody is trying to get to the United States? Please tell me if we're so horrible, if people around the world don't respect America, why are people trying to get to a place that's so disrespected around the world? I don't understand it. And these kinds of these things, when people say these things, it doesn't make sense. The same people that say America is going to hell in a handbasket and so on and this and that and so on and so on are the same people who are standing up for immigrants to come into this country and saying that we should have open borders. If this country is so bad, why would you want families and children coming into a country that's so bad? They don't match. They don't match. So either we're a good country and you want people and you want immigrants to come in this country, or we're a horrible country and you should be fighting to keep them out of this horrible place. I'm just saying, you can't have both. Let's go to my man here. I saw him the other day. I started following him, actually. I like what he had to say.
Liabilities only impress broke people. Clothes only impress broke people. Bags only impress broke people. Shoes only impress broke people. You behaving like you have money only impress broke people.
All right, that's good enough. He started saying shoes only impress broke people. Clothes only impress broke people. I've never seen people with money. I know some people with money. I've never seen them like, oh man, you get them the J's, them the newest J's you got, man. That's what's up, man. I got to get a pair of those. I've never seen that. I've never seen them out in the parking lot like, oh man, they can check out my new whip, and taking pictures with their cars or all their cars lined up and this and that. That stuff only impressed broke people. I've never been impressed by people's cars or their shoes. I'm not a shoe guy. I know I'm out of the loop. I'm not a sneakerhead, and that's not a black thing. That's a people thing. Some people just sneakerheads. I've never been into them in the shoes like that. But there are things that we are doing today that only impress people like ourselves, that have nothing to do what you're wearing and how much you paid for your shoes or how much you paid for that bag, young lady, or how much you paid to get your nails done does not validate who you are or say how much you're worth. As I always say, and I heard a preacher said, only cheap stuff go on sale. You don't have to declare your value. Okay, value, it costs what it costs and it's worth what it's worth. And
You've never seen Bentley going on sale?
I've never seen a commercial. Never. I have never in my entire life. I've never even seen a poster board for Bentley or Rolls Royce. I've never seen a year-end clearance for the Lamborghini.
Excellence never goes on sale.
Excellence never goes on sale. Quality never goes on sale. So all that flexing with the shoes and the clothes and and all these and all that, it only impress people that don't got it. It don't impress people that have it or more. And especially when we're talking about the jewelry, most of the jewelry that's made in war today is it's not gold, it's not platinum. Okay, this right here. You know what? I'm not even gonna tell you what this is. We're gonna keep that a secret. I'm gonna flex with this here.
So earlier this week, a clip of me from back in February started to go viral. Somebody, give him credit, runs a basketball site, found me saying what is indisputably true in my always humble opinion. a good boys high school state champion team would smoke, in my opinion, the WNBA champion. At this time, I didn't even know who the WNBA champion was. I probably wouldn't have known who the WNBA champion was anyway. But it was in February, and I was talking about how ESPN is doing everything they can to make it seem like people care about the WNBA, when the reality is, after 25 years, nobody cares about the WNBA. And I said, look, one of the reasons is because the women would get smoked by a good high school boys team. So that gets clipped, starts to go viral, and evidently one of the Las Vegas Aces, I don't know who she is, I don't know what her background is, but her name is Chelsea Gray. She shared this clip from the Hoop Herald, and she called me a dumbass. And so I didn't even know that this had happened until I saw it on a Google News alert, because I can't keep up with everything everybody says on a day-to-day basis. But Chelsea Gray called me a dumbass. She's on the Las Vegas Aces, which is the WNBA champion. So I responded, and to my knowledge, Chelsea Gray has not responded, nor has the WNBA, nor has the Las Vegas Aces. But my challenge is clear. We're going to clip this, and we will put it out there. Here's what I tweeted. I'll put $1 million on the line. Your WNBA champion team, that's the Las Vegas Aces, against a 2024 high school boys state champion team of my choice. You guys win. You get $1 million of my money. That is $1 million that I will put out there. I will give it directly to all the members of the Las Vegas Aces. You potentially would make more money from this one game against the boys high school team than you do for virtually the entire season playing in the WNBA.
All right. So, WNBA. I think we've talked a little bit about WNBA before. Respectively, like you said, they've been trying to hold up the WNBA for 25 years now. I still don't know. I know the Sparks. I just learned the Aces. Las Vegas. That's pretty cool. I like the Ace. Las Vegas. Sparks. Aces. Don't tell me.
You're safe. You're safe there. You know two more than I know.
Okay. I know the Sparks and the Aces.
I know Reggie Miller's sister used to play.
Yeah. She was on Inside the NBA the other night. No, that was Candace Parker, I think. But wow. The Mystics. Is it the Mystics?
I literally have zero.
Okay. I think I got 3.
In all fairness, I probably couldn't tell you 10 NBA teams off the top of my head. Maybe the cities, but not, I don't follow basketball that close.
If somebody put a gun to my head right now and said, you name 10 WNBA players, I'm going to blow your brains out. And
tell my wife I love her.
I love y'all, man. And I want to make this clear. I'm not making fun of the WNBA. I know these girls work hard, but the interest in women's sports, I think that women's volleyball is a little more exciting in some terms in comparison to
I think you nailed it a couple of weeks ago when you talked about what literally every other women's sports teams wear.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And why.
Okay.
They wear something different than every other men's sports team.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot as.
Yeah. That may have that. You know what? We're visual. So that probably does play a major role in that. And I'm sure it does. All right. Let's move on to this guy here. This guy is something else, man.
What does the word innately mean? What does that mean? I'm black and slow. I don't know what that means.
The word innate. The word innate means that I'm not changing or I'm not becoming something else. I am who I am.
Just before we started the show, you said that you introduced is he your husband or your wife? Is that your husband? He gonna be your husband or your wife?
I'm gonna end this interview.
Why?
Because we're ending this right now.
Why you want to end?
We're ending it.
Well, right, come back.
Take this off. When you want to have a real conversation,
I'm
call me. No, you're bullshitting me.
Come back.
I'm not gonna be a part of that. Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me.
But why are you running?
Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me. Please take it off of me.
Really,
Because
come take it
you're
off.
disrespecting me.
But no, I'm
So-
asking you really. What does it?
Okay, I don't understand. Do you understand why he got upset?
I have friends who are gay and they're a couple and they're married, and they're two dudes, and they are what I would call somebody you wouldn't be able to tell if you met them just alone the street, and they can dish and they can take it. So sometimes we talk about that because we can talk about that kind of stuff, and sometimes you can't tell the dynamics, and so I could see that where he should have probably said, this is a teachable moment. There is no husband and there is no wife. We are both men. That makes us both husbands, and that makes us partners. It didn't have to storm off, in my opinion. But
yeah, you know what? That's right. That could have been a teachable moment. It's like, you know what? Let me correct you, sir. Yeah, but this guy Jesse Lee Peterson,
was he stirring shit there, or did he not know?
His shows, a lot of his interviews are like that, but they come on his show, and he's been talking. He just asks the question, you know, and they get upset when he asks them things, and it's just like, I think that was a legitimate question.
I think he should have had a legitimate.
I think it was a legitimate question. Is you say is it going to be your husband? Is it going to be your wife? How does this work? Plain and simple.
Because I tell you, some gay men would say, "I'm the wife."
Yeah,
if that's their
that's
their role.
Yeah, I've gotten some details sometimes from some of my.
It's the role.
Yeah, and so that's just it. What's your role? Who's the alpha in this relationship?
I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man. Get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Who cares? You're tired or not? Nobody cares about you.
So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do.
Against me. Bet against me.
No one's gonna to help me. It's against me, period.
Take ownership of your life. So stop making excuses. Get out there and do whatever the it takes to reach your goals.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's what I'm on right there. Yes. You know, that's what we need to hear more of in this world. Everybody's trying to get the bag. Everybody's trying to get the money. Everybody wants to be motivated. Everybody's got their favorite motivational speaker, blah, 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 blah. But nobody's practicing in discipline. I heard a very good definition of commitment/discipline. Commitment is being loyal to what you said you would do long after the emotion you said it in is gone. I believe that's Tony Robbins who said that. And that's true.
That is. That's the difference between drive and motivation. And you know how you get drive is by really drilling down on your whys.
Yes.
And you will develop drive.
Absolutely. You know, there's some nights, man, I get 2-3 hours sleep and I got to get up.
Bragger.
Yeah, I gotta hit the gym. Yeah, and I gotta hit the gym. Not because obviously I'm not in shape, but I ain't out of shape either. You know, but well, I'm out of shape, but you get what I'm saying. But
you know, round is a shape.
Yeah, it is a shape. And you know what? It's something like that. Developing personality. I can laugh at myself today. You know, it's like, don't take yourself so seriously. Take what you're trying to get to seriously instead of taking yourself so seriously. You know, I get up. I do the same thing every day. I strive every day to see what I can do different, what I can do better, and what I can do that I haven't done. That's what it is every day. That strive. Here, motivation is good, right? I picture it like this. It's motivation. You don't really see it too much anymore because cars have changed. But back in the days, you know, when they used to have stick shifts, right? And they wouldn't start. You give it a push. They were like, a couple people get behind the car and you push the car and they get, you know, put it in gear and it would catch and would start. But now here's it. If it got enough motivation behind it, right? But if the motivation didn't catch the first time, it stopped. And then it needed more motivation again to get started again.
Remember, too, it would not only stop, it would buck.
Yeah, it would buck, yes.
You know, and that's trying anything new. First thing to do is, boom, dig in against it.
And so, but then you got this other thing called inspiration and or drive. When you're inspired about something, it has nothing to do with how you feel. When you have drive, there's nothing that can stop you or get in your way or discourage you to keep you from keep going.
Yeah, Zig Ziglar, very popular inspirational speaker, said the problem with motivation is a lot like baths. You need one every day.
Yes. I listen to a lot of motivation, so to speak, every day, but I I listen to it more to get, say, positive things, but true things in my mind. I have to keep going. Everybody's not going to believe in what I believe in. It's my job to develop my personality, to develop relationships. It's my job not to blame everybody else. I can't blame the economy. I can't blame the president. I'm the one that has to do the work. And I listen to things like that that's continuously saying that over and over, because in today's society, I got so many things on my phone coming across my news feed, Facebook, whatever, trying to get me to believe everything other than where I'm going, trying to get me to stand and believe that it's somebody else's fault, why I may not have or why I can't get whatever it is that I plan on getting, whatever my goal is. And I refuse to stand and believe that the economy, the stock market, the price of oil, any of these things are going to stop me. I'm not going to say they don't affect me. Cold weather affects me. It got cold last night. It went down to like 64.
It's 58 this morning. I was walking.
We're in South Florida. So, yes, that's cold.
I had my gloves. I had a jacket on. I had my long jogging pants on.
But you know what? I don't let it stop me. Now, don't get it twisted. I woke up the other morning. And you gotta talk to yourself. I woke up the other morning. I had some decisions I needed to make, and there was some financial decisions. And I'm just like, I'm thinking, my mind starts beating me up. Says, you know what? You should have been there. You should have been done this. If you were, and look what kind of business guy you were. You should be. You should know better than this. And on and on. I had to. Whoa, stop. Hold on. Whoa, stop. I will make the decision that I make. When I make it, I'm not going to procrastinate on it. Once I pull the trigger on it, I pull the trigger on it. But I am a hell of a better businessman than I was last week. I'm definitely a better businessman than I was last year. Okay? And I definitely have more accomplished than I did a year ago. And I definitely have more accomplished than I did 2 months ago. Okay? So, no, I'm not going to believe that in my head. So this is why I listen to what I listen to. And I listen to 2 to 3 hours of motivation / inspiration before I dabble into the news, before I go into emails, before any of those things like that. I give myself a half hour when I wake up in the morning before I even look at my phone. I look at the time. I give myself a half hour. If I'm feeling really energetic that morning, I jump out of bed. And sometimes I take my pre-workout, brush my teeth, head to the gym. And I mark my time. I put them on my inspiration, my motivation, and I keep it moving. And after that first half hour, I may glance and I'll scan through my emails, and if I see anything what I consider important, I do that. But as far as texts and things like that, here's one thing I know about texts. First of all, I'm not the president. Okay, if there's something detrimental, if one of my kids have died, if anything like that has happened, you better believe my phone will be blowing up or somebody will be at my door. That's how we did in the old days. When something happened and it was a car accident, they couldn't get you on the phone. There was somebody at the door. They found a way to get to you.
Found you somehow.
They found you somehow. So I don't start my day with texts and glancing at Facebook and checking likes. And that's not a way to start the day. For me, my life is bigger than all of that. That's just for me. I'm not saying I'm better than you, anybody else, but this is the way I start my day. And then after noon, once it passes noon, then I might dabble in some news and see what's going on in the news cycle, see what's going on. And I might tap into TikTok because of the platform that I do. I do have to stay up to date on what's trending, what's going on in TikTok and things like that. And I think of things to talk about on my show, and
but you're doing that with an abundance mindset, looking for something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Yes, yeah. Exactly.
And you're fast on, fast off.
Right. And sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, whoa, I'll swipe it off my screen. I've been in too long. I got to come up. I got to come up for air, you know, and I just swipe it off. You know, I don't close the screen. I close it. You know, I close it, then I got to go back in. But for the most part, man, I'm as I grow, I'm less and less wanting to be entertained. I'm less and less wanting to just sit and watch TV. I enjoy TV. I have some shows I watch, but it's not like, oh, I gotta watch this, I gotta watch that, you know. And when I got my hour, that 1 hour during the day, and I may not be doing anything, oh, let me catch up on this, you know. But for the most part, I'm focused on what's in front of me. I'm trying to go, what's behind me is behind me. I'm dealing with what I got right here and where my feet are. Where my feet are is where I'm supposed to be. Okay, and what's in front of me, I can't change my past, but I definitely can change the future by the decisions that I make right now. You know, and I'm just working on being a better person little by little every day. Am I a-hole sometimes? Yes, absolutely. Anybody. I just want to say this, man. I appreciate you guys joining us today. And remember, check us out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and every other platform where you can find podcasts. We are there. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Listen, man, I love you guys, but I'm not in love with you. You guys have a fantastic day.
For sure.
I'm out.